Several of you asked for me to do a video about coffee. I think hoping that it's as beneficial as tea. Let's talk about it. So the science showing health benefits to coffee consumption is a little bit more equivocal than the vast collection of research showing health benefits of regular tea consumption. And that may be because coffee doesn't work for everyone. But there are large systematic reviews and meta-analyses that do show that on average, regular coffee consumption does reduce risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, some forms of cancer, gout, gallstones, and depression as well. Studies that striate by different levels of consumption show that 3 cups a day is about optimal, and that 3 cups a day on the regular basis can reduce all-cause mortality, a general indicator of health and longevity, by 16%, and cardiovascular disease mortality by 19%. These benefits are attributed to the upwards of 800 different phytonutrients in coffee, including antioxidant polyphenols like chlorogenic acid, anti-inflammatory diterpenes like quail and cafestol, some really cool fiber types, arabinogalactans and galactomannans, fiber-like compounds called melanoidins, and caffeine itself is anti-inflammatory. And because coffee is so low calorie, it ends up having a really high nutrient density. A cup of brewed black coffee has a Nutrivore score of 7,036. But as I said, coffee doesn't work for everyone, and that's because its impact on the immune system is very complex. In fact, there was a really important 2016 paper that showed that coffee was overall anti-inflammatory for some people and pro-inflammatory for others. And there are 2 reasons why some people might have this pro-inflammatory response to coffee consumption. One of those is genetics. So while we need more studies on this, there are a couple of gene variants that have been linked to a more inflammatory reaction to coffee consumption. Polymorphisms in the N-acetyltransferase 2 gene, as well as the human leukocyte antigen gene. Those are actually autoimmune disease risk genes. And the second is attributable to an interaction between coffee consumption and the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, also called the fight or flight axis. Studies show that habitual coffee consumption magnifies our stress responses. So if you're somebody who already experiences chronic stress and you drink coffee regularly, you are going to have a higher physiological response to a psychological stressor. So you're going to have more stress hormones in your body because you got stuck in traffic. Coffee consumption can also reduce the threshold for feeling anxiety. So if you're somebody who struggles with anxiety or chronic stress, coffee might not be working for you. And because I know I'm going to get a question about whether or not decaf is better, studies show probably not. The decaffeination process that removes most of the caffeine from the coffee grounds or beans ends up also removing much of the beneficial phytonutrients.